Okay, so we're going to solve 1/3 x minus 4 equals 5/4 x. Now I see that we have an x term on both sides of the equation, and to win at this game, to get an equation solved, we need to get x by itself on just one side of the equation. So we want to collect our like terms. However, there are some sticky fractions in here, and it sure would be nice to clear this equation of any fractions before we collect those like terms. So what I want to do is look at my denominators. Here we have a denominator of 3, we have a denominator of 4, and what I'd like to do is just multiply both sides of the equation times the least common multiple of 3 and 4 so that we can completely clear the fractions. So if I take 3 times 4, that gives me 12. So that is a multiple of 3 and 4, and since there's not a smaller one, that's the least common multiple. So let's multiply both sides by 12. Okay, now you could have done a greater multiple like 24 or something, but then you would have more simplifying to do at the end. So let's just stick with 12. So we're going to distribute the 12 to each of these terms on the left-hand side and take the 12 times the 5/4 x on the right-hand side. I'm going to write the 12 as a 12 over 1 to make it easier to multiply these fractions. Taking 12 over 1 times 1/3, I can simplify within before I multiply. I can divide both of these by 4. 3 divided by 3 is 1. Or I can divide them both by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 12 divided by 3 is 4. Now I can multiply 4 times 1 is 4. And in the denominator, 1 times 1 is 1. 4 divided by 1 is just 4. So I have 4x. And then I have to go back. I had a 12. I have to take the 12 times this 4, so minus 48. And then on the right-hand side of the equation, we'll make this a 12 over 1. And again, in multiplying these fractions, I would like to simplify within before I do numerator times numerator and denominator times denominator. So let's divide both of these by 4. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Now I can take numerator times numerator. 3 times 5 is 15. 1 times 1 is 1. In the denominator, 15 divided by 1 is just 15, and it's still times the x. Now I can collect like terms. So go ahead and do that. What would you like to do first? So let's subtract 4x from both sides. So 4x minus 4x goes to 0. That's a 0 pair. And I'm just left with negative 48. And on the other side, I have 15x minus 4x, which is 11x. Now we'll do what you suggested, and we'll divide. We have 11 times x. To undo times, we divide. So the 11s cancel the 1, so we just have 1x, which we just write as x alone. And on the other side, we have negative 48 elevenths, and we just leave it as negative 48 elevenths because you can't simplify that. You should always simplify fractions if you can, but on this one, there's no common factor between